Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to Waves of 10. The topic for this winter season is short stories, so let's jump right into it. The title for this fifth episode in short stories is 7 Countries Plan, and it continues from the previous episode. So here we go. That they planned to weaponize it into a spray, like a spray in an air freshener can. Really? Yes. But there's more to it than just that. These countries did not want to use it only on their enemies. They wanted to use it on their citizens too. On their citizens? Tony exclaimed, looking at her skeptically. Yes. Tony shook his head. Even if I am to believe everything you said, why would they want to use it on their citizens, and how would they get away with it? It's all about population control and financial control over their citizens' property. Tony was thoughtful for a few seconds before saying, Okay, go on. Now, for the part of how they would do it without others noticing. Yes, well, you know that for the past several years, tourists, including our citizens, were killed in certain countries, but the government and media kept saying that it's not true. They're just regular crimes, whatever that means. Well, let's assume that these citizens are targeted. Okay, Tony said, resting his hands on the sides of his head and gently rubbing it. Let's say this is also true. What does it have to do with anything? He removed his hands from his head and slumped his shoulders. On top of that, you still have not told me how the government was going to carry out this genocide. Okay, bear with me here. It's going to come together. He gestured with his hand for her to continue. The heater in the apartment kicked in. It's like this. Let's say that Canada and America are 2 of the 7 countries, but I'm not saying that they are. Yeah, I get it. Okay, let's say that 20,000 Canadians stay at hotels yearly across America. The government in America would get their people to spray the rooms with the chemical of about 5,000 Canadians. The heater shut off again. The tourists will breathe in this chemical from the time they get there to the time they leave. Then about 3 months after they return home, they will get a cold. But they will not worry about it because after all, it's just a cold. Tony sat a little straighter in the chair. Then it will develop into pneumonia, and within hours of that, they die. The death ruled as pneumonia, high blood pressure, or something else, and no one is the wiser. Then no one is the wiser, Tony said slowly, rubbing his chin. Yes, Marcia exclaimed. The killing started in another country, but the death occurs in their homeland, so no one would even think twice about investigating it. Okay, I'll give you that. You're beginning to make some sense now, Tony said, wagging his index finger at her. Now, Marcia said, the questions remaining are what happened and how did it get loose? Yes. Okay, Marcia said. Are you ready for this? I'm ready. Well, because the 7 countries did not want the rest of the world to know what they were up to, they decided to hide their work in plain sight. Boom! Tony exclaimed, raising from the chair and falling back into it. You've just exploded my mind, woman. Marcia laughed. Okay. Let's just put it together. The WHO said that it found out about the first case of this virus from the Chinese authorities, and they said that it started in Wuhan City. True? True. It was only then that I learned that there's a well-known lab there, but people living in the area, some in the medical field, and maybe others would have already known of this lab. The heater sounded again. However, both of us heard that it was a low-security lab, and that's why it was perfect place for them to carry out their dastardly deed, if you will, so no one is the wiser. Wow, Tony exclaimed. Now, how did it escape? Marcia opened her mouth to reply, but Tony raised a hand to stop her. Before you answer that, am I correct in assuming that the strain of virus that escaped was altered in some way? Yes, and that's why it spread so fast and viciously, unlike SARS. If my memory serves me correctly, the death toll for that was between 8 and 10,000 people. Tony said, nodding. Okay, continue with your theory about how it escaped. Okay, Marcia said, but that's just it. I don't think it escaped from the lab. Instead, I believe that someone on the medical team accidentally got infected with the virus, and they did not tell anyone about it. Boom, Tony said again. You've just exploded my mind again. So, she continued, he left the lab intended to self-isolate for 2 weeks, but he couldn't get to the isolation location without encountering other people, and from there it spread. Marcia flared her hands and let them drop again. Okay, Tony said, rubbing his chin, lost in his thoughts. Oh, Marcia said, I forgot to add that we have to remember that this started spreading long before it was declared a worldwide pandemic. True, I remember. When it started, a few people tried sounding the alarm about how vicious and deadly this virus was, but all they got for that was a visit from the cops. Yes, Tony said, and in other countries, when others did the same thing, they were accused of being racist and were called creators of division. Silence fell between them for a few seconds. Tony, so many people died from COVID-19. Yeah, I know. This makes me so hungry, but mostly sad. And if it wasn't for you and the children being here for me to take care of and to talk things through with, and the Lord giving me the inner strength I need, I'll be crying the whole day and every day. Silence fell between them as they locked eyes with each other. Marcia was the first to break eye contact. She unfolded her feet and dusting her hands together, she asked, "Well, are you going to laugh at my theory or not?" Tony smiled with his entire face, and Marcia's heart fluttered. Her heart always flutters when he smiles at her like that. She blushed. "I have one more question for you though," he asked. "Ask away," she said, picking up the TV remote. "Do you believe everything you've just said?" Marcia smiled. "Wouldn't you like to know?" She winked at him and turned up the volume on the TV. The end. Thanks for listening, guys. Goodbye.